On Sunday, I would have raised in the public domain issues surrounding exemptions from the Procurement Act from an order published under the hand of Minister Imbert, and that order dealt with exempting all goods and services from the Procurement Act. So what it means is that there was no need for any tendering, there was no need for any bidding, there was no need for any transparency, accountability with respect to the procurement of goods and services for millions of dollars in relation to those Caricom meetings that were held in Port of Spain from the 1st of July to the 5th of July. And this is a copy of the order. And what Minister Imbert attempted to do today was blame the Cabinet and in particular the Attorney General. He has exposed the incompetence of the Attorney General because he himself admitted that he would have taken advice from Senator Armour with respect to signing this particular exemption order in relation to Caricom. Now, Minister Imbert threw everyone under the bus. He threw the entire Cabinet under the bus, the Attorney General, and now he seeks to hide under the bus. But he is the most senior Cabinet Minister, and he would want you to believe that he does not understand what affirmative resolution of Parliament means. So, Minister Imbert has been in the Parliament for decades, and he understands. He's the most senior Cabinet Minister, as I said. Under the law that was passed by Minister Imbert, he himself piloted this law. He himself amended the law, indicated that if they are going to exempt various goods and services from the Procurement Act, it must have the approval of Parliament, both House of Representatives and the Senate. That is what affirmative resolution means. But what Minister Imbert has done is sign off on this particular order without the approval of the Parliament. And we are submitting that that was in fact an illegal action. And Minister Imbert cannot come to the population and tell the population that he did not know or that he did not understand that these various orders had to get the approval of the Parliament. Because I want to remind you, members of the media, when Minister Imbert was in the Senate, I'm going to quote his Hansard dated the 8th of December 2020. He is quoted here as saying, "And I am pleased to say that we have considered that matter and we agree that we can change negative resolution to affirmative resolution." So it means that if any additional services are to be added to the list of exempt services, it will require debate and a vote in both houses of Parliament, including this distinguished house, where we do not have a built-in majority. So that is one of the amendments. So these are the words of Minister Imbert telling the Senate at that time that you need the approval of the Parliament in order to exempt any services from the Procurement Act. Then when he came to the House of Representatives on the 11th of December, what he did, he said, and I'm quoting again, he said, in order to give the Parliament the power to approve or not approve any new services that the minister might want to add by order, we change the word negative to affirmative. So therefore, these things must be debated and must be approved by both houses of Parliament. And just in passing, Madam Speaker, I might just say that we found it necessary to do these amendments because this is what is done in other countries in the Caribbean. So Minister Imbert was very clear when he piloted this particular law in the Parliament. He has admitted that if he has to exempt any services, it's two things has to be done. One, it must be done by order, and two, that order must receive the approval of both houses of Parliament. And the reason why we are stating that this is an illegal order and that the orders as published are unlawful, it is because when you look at the Interpretation Act in particular, Section 75, it says when the expression subject to affirmative resolution of Parliament is used in relation to any statutory instrument or statutory documents, it means those instruments or documents shall not come into operation unless and until affirmed by a resolution of each House of Parliament. So what does that mean? It means that until the Parliament approves these orders are null, void, and of no legal effect. But you know what they did? They would have published these orders and so that no one would have seen it, but they have been exposed. Had it not been for the United National Congress on Sunday, no one would have known that Minister Imbert would have exempted these goods and services in relation to that Caricom heads of government meeting. And when they do things like these, it will encourage shady, dodgy procurement practices and preferential procurement practices so that they can hand-pick contractors, they can hand-pick suppliers, they can hand-pick individuals who they would want to give contracts